much from Ron Paul, at least not on TV, but he's still very much in the race for president. The media spotlight has dimmed because Mitt Romney has the race pretty much sewn up, but do not count Ron Paul out or his supporters because we hear they have a plan to make Republicans pay attention. We've even heard rumors if they don't, Paul supporters will disrupt the Republican convention. Let's ask a man who would know. Congressman Paul is in Washington. Welcome, Congressman.
Thank you.
Santorum, Gingrich, Bachmann, Husband, Perry, Kaine, they've all dropped out. Why haven't you?
Well, it certainly isn't for the reason of disrupting a convention, as you were alluding to. That is not in my plan. That is against my plan, so I don't like that even being a suggestion. I'm in it for very precise reasons, to maximize our efforts, to get as many delegates as we can. I'm still a candidate. And to promote something that is very, very important. That is a change in the direction for the Republican Party, to be a fiscal conservative Republican Party, to not be a party that supports endless wars, and a party that would look into the monetary system so that we can understand the business cycle. So we have very precise goals, and we are being quite successful in accumulating more and more votes and delegates. And quite frankly, I think the reports early on that we weren't winning anything, it turns out that we actually did win some of these states, like in Maine and Minnesota and these other places. We're doing quite well.
Right.
But anyway,
right,
we have a precise purpose.
I want to ask you about that, Congressman. Your supporters do seem to be taking a page from evangelical Christian activists in the 90s. They're taking control of state conventions to win you enough delegates to get your name placed formally in nomination. I mean, is the goal to get you a primetime speaking role at the Republican convention? Is that why they're working so hard?
Well, being nominated is one thing, and you get to give a speech, but that is different than just the leadership conceding sometime and giving you a speech. One is monitored and one is not. So just to give a speech for the sake of giving a speech and have it edited doesn't have much appeal to me. But I think moving an agenda is very important. The best way I can do that is to maximize the number of delegates we have.
And, I mean, do you see a point maybe that you would ever consider endorsing Mitt Romney?
Well, it all depends on what happens. It's pretty hard to reconcile, the differences, but who knows, these differences might not be as severe as they seem to be because positions on other candidates have changed. So right now I'm concentrating on the job I have for the next month or so on trying to have a presence and a significant influence on the convention.
So what would Mitt Romney have to change? What viewpoint would Mitt Romney have to change for you to at least tepidly endorse him?
Well, that remains to be seen to see what happens. I mean, I know what I believe in, but I don't know, I'm not sure where he stands on these issues of the Federal Reserve and fiscal policy, cutting spending. I haven't heard anything from any of the other politicians and any other candidates, Republican or Democrat, who actually thinks we ought to cut spending. I think we should cut a lot of spending, and then we should have a different foreign policy. So I really don't know the details of where he is on these positions.
Newt Gingrich and Rick Santorum have endorsed Mitt Romney, but some might say rather tepidly. Why do you think that's so? Why don't they get more enthusiastically behind Mitt Romney?
I have no idea. You'd have to ask them, because I think their views are fairly similar. It might be more personal than anything else, but only they could answer those questions.
Do you think Mitt Romney can beat President Obama?
Well, of course, there's always a possibility I can beat Mitt Romney. I mean, I can beat Obama too. Matter of fact, sometimes I do better than Romney does on these polling. So yes, I think that I could beat him, and I think every Republican that's run would have a pretty good chance of beating the president.